All right, y'all. It's day 6 of this. Day 6 of drawing for 15 minutes every day until. Well, I don't really know what my main goal here is. I guess it's just to commit to something for a year, I guess. But yeah, it's auction out here. It's January 29, 8:57 p.m. as I'm recording this. Today we're drawing Spider-Man. We're drawing Spider-Man. Because, well, I've drawn Batman, I've drawn Superman. I might as well complete the big three. It's arguable, but this is my big three, so I don't know. You guys can't argue with that. I'm sorry. This is the big three. Not unless, well, I keep that opinion to myself anyways. But yeah, I drew Spider-Man because I felt like I yapped more about Spider-Man than Superman in my last video. So if Superman symbolizes hope, I would say Spider-Man symbolizes responsibility. I think that's really it. I mean, it can symbolize hope, and in the way Spider-Man does symbolize hope, but I feel like it's more about responsibility and doing the right thing. It's like, Superman symbolizes that as well, but it's just that I guess Spider-Man seems more achievable, or he seems more relatable as a person as opposed to Superman, which is somebody we should strive towards. But the thing about it is, the thing about Spider-Man is you always see him when he gets beaten down, and he thrives as a character when he suffers, as opposed to Superman, where we rarely kind of see him get beaten up and lose. He had to get beaten down. James Gunn movie in order for him to be a little more relatable, I guess. But with Spider-Man, well, he's very relatable. He's broke. He's trying to juggle college and his job, all the while trying to be Spider-Man. I think that's, it's responsibility, it's priorities. It's about doing the right thing, even though you don't want to. But Spider-Man does these things because of Uncle Ben. Each save, each act is all motivated by the fact that he has to make amends to his uncle, to which he believes is his fault. In a way it is, but he has to atone for that each day. But I think what I love about Superman is he does it with a smile. When he fights all these bad guys with a smile, he always has a couple quips hidden in his sleeve, and it's really nice. That's the thing, he thrives as a character when he's suffering, because I think we all love an underdog. We all love to see a rags to riches success story, but not. Okay, that's kind of out of topic, but we all love an underdog. We love somebody who keeps fighting, no matter what. It's really that, I don't know, it's really that stubbornness of Spider-Man that really gets to me. I really love the optimistic stubbornness that he keeps fighting on. We see that with characters like Rocky. Who else? I mean, we see that in every sports drama. In a way, it's just we see somebody who keeps fighting on despite everything that's happening around him, and it's really what I love about Spider-Man. He continues to believe what he's doing is right, even when he has doubts. He just keeps doing it because he knows that deep in his heart what he's doing is right. And yeah, I love Spider-Man. I can't wait for the new movie. And in a way, I really grew up with Tom Holland Spider-Man because Civil War was the first movie I ever watched in a theater that I properly watched as a kid. And it was my first time kind of like being introduced to like superheroes. And ever since I kind of like fell in love with it. And, that's the thing, it's just that Tom Holland Spider-Man is who I grew up with. I mean, there's also Andrew. I watch his movies. I think Andrew just might be the Spider-Man with the most aura, I'd say, the most charm. Toby is the most relatable, I would say. But I just love how, in a way, each generation, I mean, has their own Spider-Man that they grew up with Tom being mine. So I can't wait for Brand New Day. It's just like I remember Homecoming. I used to watch Homecoming. That used to be my comfort movie because I just moved here from Qatar, moved back to the Philippines, and I was trying to adjust to my own surroundings, which is ironic because I'm having culture shock in the same country I was born in. So even until today, I'm still trying to adjust to how things are around because I always consume Western culture. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong. But that's another story. Back to Spider-Man. Homecoming used to be my favorite comfort movie because, well, Tom was really young in this one, and he portrayed somebody that's really young. This is probably the youngest Spider-Man we had portrayed in live action. And he's in high school and goes into prom, and the bad guy is just a guy. It's just Vulture, but he's so intimidating. Like, Keaton did a really good job at being the villain. It was really good. And it's just really, I love it. I love that movie. Keep it close to my heart because and people say Tony was a bad addition, but you know what? Looking back, it's just like I feel like the MCU doesn't really stick quite to the comics. I'd say it has its own version. It's very grounded. I would say more. It's more grounded, and does its own interpretation of the comics rather than a one-to-one comic accuracy type shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's just that I believe Tony played a pretty good role in this movie. People keep saying it's Iron Boy Jr., but in No Way Home, it's all been resetted. As it turns out, this whole trilogy that Tom had going on is an origin story. So that's that. And we got a Brand New Day now, and he's in college. And what's funny is that I'm in college now, so it kind of like times up well with everything. So it's really cool to think about. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to talk about. I mean, this drawing was drawn by Alex Ross. I would say one of my favorite artists of all time because he draws these characters in Renaissance style. In a way, it's like he's the Renaissance painter of superheroes. I see this other painter, this artist, who does it for JoJo. I forgot his name or his or her name, but they do such a good job at making it look real. There's also this other one. It's called Demos, I believe, and he does art for Fallout New Vegas. It's mostly New Vegas that he's doing. And it's like really Renaissance style. Like, it's really nice. It's really beautiful. It's a masterpiece. I just love when an artist, like you can tell an artist is so hyper fixated on a fandom or or something. Like you just can tell by the quality of their work. But on the other hand, my art here is really bad, and I have a long way to go. I guess we'll just see what happens in a year. And that being said, it's just I don't necessarily have the time to learn anatomy and to draw poses, considering my schedule. Being an architecture student and all, it all just kind of kills my time. And this is what I can do in the meantime. But that's the thing. I think my main goal here isn't really to improve, but rather just commit to something for a year or so and see what happens. Maybe I got better, maybe it didn't, but at least I have a year's worth of drawings to look back on, and a year's worth of yapping to look back on. Whenever I feel like I ever got some free time on my hands, I could just get nostalgic or whatever. I can look back on these in the future, you know what I mean? So that's nice. But yeah, I might as well get personal because I got nothing else to talk about. Let's talk about my day today. So today, I went. Nobody's gonna watch this anyway. So today, I went to this fun fair thing that my college is hosting, and the thing about it is just that I don't know why, but I just lack the capability to talk to people. I don't know if it's just like the fact that I don't not really fluent in the language, or that I'm not confident much in the language, like with Filipino and whatnot. But it's just that, it's just, I feel so alone. It's like I'm with my friends, right? There's two friends that I grew up with since, 7th grade. Rather, the 8th grade, I got close to them in the 8th grade, but, I feel so alone because I'm with them. Whenever I try to talk, they just keep saying, "What's that? What's that again?" I didn't hear what you said. And I get really frustrated whenever I have to repeat something over and over again just so they can understand it. And it's the fact that I have to repeat it again that I just don't want to say it anymore. It's like, I don't know why. It's just that there's something, I guess, with my voice that people don't understand. I don't know if it's a speech impediment or something, but I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I'm more understandable in English compared to Filipino. Because I have this weird tism of that my voice gets more deeper when I speak in Filipino. You know what I mean? So it's really difficult. So, but yeah, I guess it's that feeling of alienation, whenever I speak, I guess, I just feel different. And my mind is always on something else. Like, do I even belong here? Do I even have a say in what's going on? Is my life mine? Am I making the right choices? Et cetera. It's just really difficult to navigate life feeling like you're behind, or feeling like you're alone, but nobody really understands you. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be loved is to be understood and whatnot. But yeah, it's just that I don't know where these videos are gonna take me. I guess in a way, these videos kind of are therapeutic because I get to speak my mind. I really try to express my thoughts. In day one, I said, I guess this is kind of a good way to practice expressing my thoughts. So it's really nice that I get to do this. So yeah, back to Spider-Man. What can I say about Spider-Man? That's the thing about Spider-Man. He's relatable. I believe in Toby's. It's the most realistic adaptation because Spider-Man is alone. I mean, obviously he's got Harry, but he ended up turning evil, and it's also frustrating because he feels alone. Doesn't have his parents. Uncle Ben dies, and in some versions, Aunt May also dies. So at that point, he's completely alone. Even more so in this new movie, Peter's all alone because, MJ and Ned have forgotten about him. And so it's just really interesting to think about loneliness and whatnot. Just trying to figure out how to navigate through life, feeling like people don't really understand you as a person. It's really difficult. Pretty difficult to get through that plateau. But I think that's what I love about Spider-Man and these characters, is because they continue to fight. They keep fighting. No matter what happens, no matter how alone they feel, they just keep doing the right thing. They don't turn to the dark side. They have all this power, but they choose to do what's right. They choose the right way, even though this seems more convenient to do it the wrong way. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm just not gonna let, these bad days or whatever get to me. I know that eventually I'll find someplace that feels like home. And someday I know I'll find like my own tribe and whatnot, where I feel like I could completely express how I feel without any judgment. It's getting ridiculous, it's just I don't know what's gonna happen anymore, and slowly but surely I feel more detached from my friends because I'm thinking about things that are completely way different than what they're thinking. I don't know if it's but it's not like I'm trying to be different or whatever. It's just that I just have a different set of goals in life, and I think I'm thinking more bigger. I'm dreaming more bigger. And I've already done this many times. I dream big. I try to commit to something, and I do it for like a month, and I give up. I see no progress after a month, and then I give up. And it's just like, it's so easy to give up, man. Especially when it feels like nothing is really going on. But especially in days like this where nobody really understands you, nobody really knows what you're doing. Everybody just underestimates you. Everybody treats you like shit. And that's like, it's difficult. But I just gotta keep pushing because that's all you can really do. So all we can really do. The parties are always gonna be there. I'm not saying. But just like, there's always time to celebrate, there's always time to have a party. But there's always work to do. It's always the right thing to do. It's always priorities. Man, I am boring. More I think about it, I am boring. Half the time I don't really talk in social situations. Sometimes I look back on a hangout and I realize, wow, I didn't really say much. I didn't really contribute much in the conversation. Might as well just not be there at all. Because, I don't know. That's the thing. It's just like most of the time whenever I go out, I just rather not be there at all. Sure, it's comfort zones, but man, I'm not growing. For some reason, I just no, my happiness is just at an all-time low. I just find myself not laughing at jokes the same way before. I don't know, man. Some people's happiness levels, like their tolerance or whatever, it's just like you find something that's slightly funny, but they laugh so damn hard. Like, I wish I had that sort of energy, but I don't know, that's just not me, I guess. I don't know. I guess people are just wired different, and if everybody was the same, well, things would be boring. So, that's what it is. So I guess that's about it, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If anybody's watching this, but that Spider-Man, for you, keeps fighting, keeps doing what's right, and just be a good person, be kinder, and just be yourself. Just don't try to change yourself that much as your personality. Don't try to, chip your puzzle piece in order to fit somebody else's. So. But if you feel like there's something to change with you for the better, that makes you get more closer to the most ideal version of yourself, then go for it. But never change who you are. Don't try to put up a mask. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's about it. See you guys tomorrow. Oxynaut out.